Good girl.
Sometimes, the most extraordinary things in life begin with the smallest, most unexpected moments. This man never planned on becoming friends with a wild parrot. He certainly never imagined that one day he would wake up each morning and share breakfast with a feathered visitor from the sky. But it all started with one simple decision: placing a little bird food on his balcony.
Hi Jim, you're live right now on Instagram. Would you like to say something to your viewers?
That day seemed completely ordinary until two wild parrots suddenly landed on the railing. They perched there as if they had known the place forever. The man stood frozen for a moment, caught completely off guard. He had never been so close to wild parrots before. The only thought running through his mind was, what am I supposed to do now?
Come up.
Eventually, he brought out some bird food and placed it in front of them. Honestly, he didn't expect anything to come from it. He assumed it was just a random visit. They would eat, fly away, and continue their lives like any other wild birds. But the next morning they came back. Then they returned again the day after that. And the day after that, somehow, the two feathered visitors seemed to have made a decision of their own. The man eventually gave them names. One was Jim, the other was Kiri. No one could say exactly when it happened, but seeing Jim and Kiri on the balcony every day slowly became part of the family's routine. At first they stayed outside, then they started lingering longer. Some days they would even take naps, right on the railing as if it were their second home. Kiri was especially bold. She often flew close to the window and curiously watched everything happening inside.
Hey Jim Carrey, it's so nice to see you after a long time.
Then one day, Kiri did something no one expected. She flew straight into the house. No hesitation, no fear, as if she had lived there her entire life.
So sweet of you, Pluto.
From that day forward, Kiri became part of the family's everyday moments. She would fly into the bedroom to see what everyone was doing. She would visit the living room to investigate new activities. And whenever she felt ignored, she always found a way to make sure everyone noticed her. Kiri had a very special call. Whenever she wanted attention, she would let out a loud screech that instantly made everyone turn around. The funny thing was, it worked every single time. Little by little, the distance between them disappeared. Kiri began landing on his mother's lap. Sometimes she chose to sit on the man's shoulder instead. On certain mornings, she simply sat beside the family as if she were another member sharing breakfast with them. That was when the man realized this was no longer just a bird stopping by for food. A genuine connection had formed. No one had forced it, no one had tried to tame anyone. It had simply happened in the most natural way possible.
Good evening, bolo, good evening. Bolo, good evening. Bolo, Jai Shri Krishna.
Then one day, Kiri vanished. One week passed, then two, then a month. Eventually 4 long months went by.
Pluto, dance. Keep dancing.
Every morning, the family still looked toward the balcony with the same familiar hope. But Kiri never appeared. They started worrying. Was she okay? Had something happened to her out there? Would they ever see their little friend again?
And it's very wholesome to experience this sort of connection with the nature, honestly.
Her absence made everyone realize just how important she had become. The balcony looked exactly the same. The chairs were still there, but something felt missing. Then one morning, something incredible happened. Kiri returned. But this time, she wasn't alone.
Lovely. Excellent.
Beside her was a tiny baby parrot. The family could hardly believe their eyes. After months of being gone, Kiri had finally come back, and she had brought her baby with her. The moment was emotional in a way that's difficult to describe, because the remarkable part wasn't simply that Kiri had returned. The remarkable part was that the very first place she chose to introduce her baby to the world was this home.
As you can
From that day on, the little balcony felt like a miniature rainforest. The family watched Kiri care for her baby. They witnessed the young parrot's first lessons about life. They were given a rare glimpse into a wild world that very few people ever get to experience so closely.
Good girl.
The man often thinks about that. Whenever he sees Kiri perched by the window, there are countless places she could fly, countless branches where she could rest. Yet, somehow, she still considers this house a safe place, a place she trusts enough to bring her own child.
So there's a very rare chance to see Jim who's
And it all began with one tiny decision, just a handful of bird food placed on a balcony on an ordinary day. But sometimes the most beautiful things in life are created exactly that way. A small act of kindness, a chance freely given, and a friendship that none of them ever expected to find.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
He came into my life like a tiny whirlwind, loud, vibrant, and full of love to give. It was during a time when the whole world felt frozen, when the silence became almost unbearable. And then Darwin showed up. A small parrot with a big personality and an even bigger heart. The first day I held him close to my chest, I whispered, "Are you ready? Let's do this."
I love you.
And from that moment on, it was as if Darwin had already decided we were going to be together forever. He quickly became the center of everything in the house. Wherever I went, Darwin followed, perched on my shoulder while I cleaned, helping with laundry, teasing his toys like they were enemies, and commenting on everything with his adorable little sounds. Darwin brought endless joy into my life. He truly became the soul of the house. But the longer we lived together, the more I realized, behind all that cheerfulness, there was a very real loneliness. Just like humans, birds aren't meant to live alone. Darwin is a true chatterbox. He loves repeating words, especially when he thinks no one is listening. Sometimes he mumbles to himself, like he's lost in his own little thoughts. I started showing Darwin videos of other parrots. He would watch the screen so intently, tilting his head, then gently tapping it with his beak, as if trying to reach a real friend. Sometimes he would even kiss the birds on the screen, waiting for a response that would never come. And that's when it hit me. Darwin didn't need a screen. He needed a real companion, right there beside him. That's when Freud came into our lives. A snow-white ring-necked parrot, calmer, gentler, but just as full of love to give. The first time I saw his eyes, a little cautious, a little wounded, I knew it was meant to be. But Darwin didn't feel the same way, at least not at first. He kept his distance. Freud's quick movements made him uneasy. Darwin was used to being the boss, the one who had all the attention. Freud, on the other hand, was patient. He didn't force anything, he simply stayed nearby. And then one day, everything changed. Darwin made the first move. At first, he was hesitant, then a little closer, and then just like that, every barrier disappeared. From that moment on, they were inseparable. They chased each other around the house, played together, talked to each other, and shared the sweetest little beak kisses. Watching them, you wouldn't think they were just birds. They were truly brothers. Freud slowly started copying everything Darwin did. If Darwin played with a toy, Freud did the same. If Darwin screamed at the mirror, Freud followed. If Darwin hid in a box, Freud was right behind him. It was funny, but also incredibly heartwarming. Their bond is so much like ours, sometimes noisy, sometimes full of little disagreements, but always filled with laughter and love. And then their little family grew with the arrival of Poe, their adorable younger sister, who doesn't always share their enthusiasm, especially when it comes to food. But in this small world, everyone has their place. And what makes me happiest is knowing that because they have each other, they will never truly be alone again. In the wild, birds always live together. They teach, protect, and stay by each other's side for life. And all I've tried to do is give my little friends not just a home, but a small world filled with love, warmth, and care.
What are you doing?
Have a kiss? Give kiss. Okay. If Darwin and Freud's story touched your heart, don't hesitate to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to see more beautiful stories like this. Because love, no matter what form it takes, always deserves to be shared. Every species has its own nature, but connection is something they all need. So if you're able to, consider finding a companion for your pet. I truly believe it can make a huge difference in their emotional well-being, helping them feel happier, more fulfilled, and most importantly, deeply loved.
Give it up.